have something to report on from the theater. I know Daily Notes is doing all his thing. Final Destination Bloodlines, directed by Zach Lipovsky and Adam Stein. That crew made Freaks in 2019, which is one of my 10 favorite movies of that year. So I actually was like kind of anticipating this, and the reviews were like out of this world. It's crazy, but it takes the premise, the format ish of the original ones, and resets it sort of, but with the nostalgia that you need in these kind of things. But it also kind of breaks new ground. It's the Halloween 2018 of this saga, which is to say it's like the best movie in the series and as good as these movies probably can ever be. With I mean, these legacy sequels, like you see these franchises or movies that are pure popcorn, and then they take themselves seriously at some point, and that's what you get here. There's an emotion that you feel in this that I was completely unexpected amongst all the splatter horror. But anyway, the movie follows Stefani, played by Caitlin Santawana, and she has this recurring nightmare about a disaster at a skyscraper in the 60s that looks an awful lot like the Space Needle. But and then typical premonition stuff happens, and it turns out that the woman in her dreams is not I mean, it usually would be the person that it is, but it was actually her estranged hermit grandmother. And then she sets out to find her grandmother to try to reverse whatever curse is on her, because she keeps getting this dream and it's like causing her to like drop out of college. But death is like searching for them and starts to go after her entire family. So it gets pretty dangerous. And the movie is so much fun. And the actors are all up to the game. Tony Todd gets his like one scene send off, and it's actually pretty touching. And some of the death scenes are set up with real precision and are pretty ingenious. I was just a little disappointed that I had seen like 2 or 3 of them, because the trailers for this movie were just extended scenes that were pretty much showed the entire setup of these set pieces where death is just wreaking havoc on these people. And I could see the series actually living on. You would think that this would be like the end of it, but if this movie has legs, which I think it made like 50 million at the box office, it's probably getting another one. But the reviews were sky high for this as well. And this is as good as these movies get. It was written by the guy who rebooted the Scream franchise. And there's a little bit of like Last Jedi in there too, where it's like they clearly know the premise and the rules of this universe so well that it is pushing the limits of them and pushing buttons and playing around with everything. It's just an absolute banger, and it's like a high 3 stars. It's probably in my top 5 movies that I've liked the most this year.
Wow.
And nice. You guys are not familiar with the franchise, I imagine, but I've seen all of them once, except for the third one. I've seen a few times.
I've drunkenly watched the second one, and it has always given me pause whenever I'm behind a truck with logs in it, which doesn't happen as much as it did 20 years ago. But yeah, I love that we're living in an era when this movie has the same Rotten Tomatoes score as the reigning Best Picture. 93% for Final Destination, 93% for Anora. Beautiful. I mean, that's the era we're living in. It's wonderful. I have to say, Death as a character needs to be a Pinot nominee. I'm sorry, why hasn't that happened yet?
It's good question.
Yeah, I mean, Adam's review, he does mention how Tony Todd could be up for multiple Pinot consideration this year, and his scene and all that stuff.
Started.
He is a little low on this movie, though. He did his rankings of the movies, and he had this ranked 4th. I was like, dude, I know you're trying not to jump to conclusions, but like, this is clearly the best film. Like, I mean, the other ones might be more rewatchable. I don't know. We'll have to see. But this is like, this is an actual movie, you know. But I'll take that up with Adam next time I see him.
Come on, Adam, get out the mat and jump to that conclusion.
Nice.
So Zach, you're telling me that there's not as many logging trucks in Kansas as there are in Oregon?
No, believe it or not, no. But there are instances when I drop my water underneath my my accelerator pedal thing on my car, and I think about Final Destination 2. That's the only framework I have, because I fell asleep about 30 minutes into that movie, but it was enjoyable.
That is the worst one. The second one is
really okay. I was digging it for a while.
Yeah, well, I mean, you saw the best part. The opening of the first few movies is like is the reason why the series exists, and after that, it gets pretty ridiculous. But yeah, the second one eventually becomes the worst.
Well, where does
I've
Adam
yet to
have it
see any
ranked?
of them.
Does he have the second one ranked above this one?
I think Adam had the second one last as well.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
He had the third one as number one, the one that I deep dove with him earlier this month or last month. I don't know when it was.
Yes, the Daily Notes are diving into Final Destination. And by the time you're hearing this, I think the last one is out. He's sent it to me, and I haven't posted it yet because I forgot to. But it'll be out before this one is.
R.I.P. Tony Todd. I know him as the Candyman. I love the original Candyman. He's iconic in that movie. And apparently he was also in The Rock as Captain Darrow, but I don't
I was going to say, I know him as the Rocket Man.
Oh, he's the Rocket Man. That makes sense. Okay.
I don't like that soft ass shit.
I think the first time I saw him was probably Platoon, right? I mean, he's.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
He's been in a bunch of stuff. I've never seen the original Candyman, but of course we reviewed the remake or the spiritual sequel. I don't know what the hell that thing was. A couple of years ago.
You know, my wife had the sequel on her top 10 list of that year. The original Candyman's awesome with, of course, Virginia Madsen in a lovely performance. But yeah, that's a great review, Todd.